Hey y'all, it's Michael, and for the past few weeks, every single day, I've been reading a short story every single day. And the first short story collection, I already did a thoughts and reviews on it. It was Where I'm Calling From by Raymond Carver. I'll link the video right here. So I thought I would talk about collection of short stories that I read, and that was 10th of December by George Saunders. This author in general, a National Book Award finalist, and a lot of people really praise him highly. And so before going into this, I don't know what it was, but I think I had too much of a high expectations. Um, because in the end, I thought this short story collection was just okay. The way I'm giving you my thoughts on these short story collections is, first off, I'll talk about the whole collection as a whole, and then I'll give you some of my favorite stories from the collection. First off, overall, this collection wasn't that bad. I do notice that his writing is really different and unique. Um, it's weird because his writing overall, like consistently throughout all the short stories, it was consistent. Like each, I could tell that this was the same author writing it. It has this quirkiness to it, but like a lot of the sentences are really short and like to the point, almost like in your face, and just like here it is. His writing is very like, it has, for me anyways, it has this like quickness to it. But it's also, a lot of the short stories were really like weird. A lot of them deal with several topics in general, like theme wise, but it consistently, a lot of them mainly dealt with people, and then every once in a while it'll have this hint of like bizarre magical realism weirdness to it. Like there's this something underneath a lot of these short stories. So yeah, there's that. So I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite short stories now. I was really excited about this because the actual first short story in this collection literally like took off running. It really set the bar, and I was so excited. The first short story is Victory Lap. This one, you could tell I write notes with post. I write notes with flashcards for each short story, and this one was fantastic. This was a short story about a boy and a girl, and something starts to happen while the boy looks outside his window. That's it. That's all I can give you. This was surprisingly exciting. Like this was a really exciting short story because it starts off really almost like melancholy-ish and like really quirky with this kid coming home from school, and then it gets dark. Like it goes into this place that I was not expecting, and I really enjoyed it. The way his writing, it's this one was like funny. I really enjoyed it, and I was like, oh, so on to the next story. It set the tone again. This one, wow, this one was literally like what, 2 page? Yeah, this one is 2 pages. It's called Sticks, and literally, it's about a pole, like a pole, like. I was gonna say like a stripper pole. Have y'all ever seen that video of those strippers who like do that surfboard trick? It's so cool. But this is about a pole that has been within the family for a really long time, and within 2 pages, he was able to convey this like quirkiness, this fun about this pole that's within this family for a while. It's more like a scarecrow, really, but it's just so good. And then we start to tumble. So there's this short story on here called Puppy. Now this one got really bizarre. It reminded me a lot of this short story this graphic short story by this Japanese author that I read. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, but I'll put the book right here. But there is a short story in that, and it has this really weird story about this guy and this dog. Like, it gets really weird, and this one got weird too. It made me feel uncomfortable, but at the same time I was really curious to find out how it's gonna unfold. It was really intriguing. Escape, okay, this one was really good too. Escape from Spiderhead. This is a story about like these different test subjects, and this one played around with, for me anyways, like I got it as how relationships, how like people interact within a relationship, and then it used these really cool bullet. It's the trash people, that's why he's barking. Use of these like medicine, well, these injections essentially, and it is so cool. But then after this, I think this is when it really like just, I was like, bruh. Now I'm not gonna lie, there is some short stories in here in the middle, like after that one, that really killed it for me. There was one in here that I would have given 1 star, and it was like Buzzkill Buzz Killington. I felt like as though it really dragged on, and it was just so tedious. I was just wanting to get it over with, and I was constantly pressuring myself to finish it so I could like get to the end of it and continue on. It was just so, I don't know if bad is the word for it, but it was so disappointing. Like, yeah, I got like, it was so good, and then it's like a just brick wall went down from there, and then afterwards, some of them like it just started to be a chivalric fiasco. This one was really cool. Again, this is, I just realized that a lot of his short stories deal with pills, but this one was dealing with medicine also, and it was really cool. This is where I really this short story in general is where I really noticed his writing, like really honed onto it, because as the story progresses, it gets really funny because the writing changes because of this thing that the main character has to do, and it is done so well. Like, I really like how Saunders is able to integrate that part of the writing, and it for me it really worked. Now, 10th of December is actually one of the good stories too. It's about a man who has cancer, and he decides to go to he decides to go outside where it's like really cold, and then weird things happen. It was actually really interesting, but again, like I said, the stories in the middle of this, because how many short stories are there? The stories in the middle really killed it for me. Like 10. I would have to say maybe like 5 of them, like it's like half. Half of them, like I thought they were good, great, excellent, and then the other half was, and there's one in here that was like, just I just wanted it to be over. And so it was like half. The thing though is, I think his writing really, I really liked his writing. It was really exciting. And so I will be reading his Into the Bardigos, I think that's what it's called, his full-on novel. I am intrigued to read it and see how I feel about him writing a full-on story, because like, especially like the first short story, if that would have been even like a longer story, I would have been intrigued if it kept going on with that pace. So again, since it's like half of the short stories I enjoyed, half of them not so much. I gave it 3 stars out of 5 overall. But again, like I said, I will be interested to read his full-on novel. So yes, other than that, I don't have anything else. So yeah, if you read this short story collection, let me know what you think about it. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video. Bye!